Okay, yeah, let's get into it. Qasim, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Qasim's got a few news items he wants to deliver. Yeah.
Hi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Welcome to this week's K News. We have a whopping 10 more updates because a lot of changes were made this week. And one of the big ones is I can finally have my camera on. I didn't even realize that it's working now. So yeah, this will be a bit shorter. But yeah, let's get on with it. Uh, First, we have UK news. As you can see, we have a new picture now. That's one of the updates. Uh, it has been quite slow, but we've only had about 46 million people in the UK who have had first dose, and only 35 is second dose, which is very quite slow. As of now, we have well over 260,000 people have had a confirmed positive COVID test, which is really huge, and it's a new wave, and it is causing quite a lot of issues in the hospitals. And as of now, just 4,000 patients are in a hospital with COVID, but that's just in COVID. There's more at home as well. As of last week, 1.5 million pupils in the school from secondary school and primary schools have actually been out. And what this is, it's a quarter of secondary pupils and 15% of primary pupils have actually been at home due to COVID outbreaks. If you think Hancock's dilemma ended, well, guess what? You're wrong. It's not. We are in week 5, and now homes have been raided in inquiry into MAK Hancock CCTV leaks, and they have seized computers after searches at 2 homes over the leakage of CCTV footage of the Hancock and the affair. So we've yet to see what's to become of it. Informative news. I've also kind of rearranged some of them. Uh, EE aims for 5G coverage everywhere in the UK by 2028. Now this is good news. Have you ever seen in Jasa you can barely just contact anyone? It's so hard to get a signal. So especially during Jasa, this will be groundbreaking news, and also maybe possible reasons for us to get EE and change to that, because now we can actually do stuff doing Jalsa.
Yeah.
And in some remote location, they'll be on demand delivered by portable cells, drone, and satellites as well. Entertainment news. Dilip Kumar, which is a legendary Bollywood actor, has died last week at the age of 98. Now, if you're from Pakistan, and you probably may know about this, I don't, but it's quite interesting. Also, Indiana Jones filming takes place in Glasgow. So there was a sort of parade, which is possible for a scene for the new Indiana Jones movie that's coming soon. Sports news. Euro 2021, yeah, Italy won. That's it. We don't need to talk about it. Uh, Now, how are England shaping up for 2022 World Cup in Qatar? So now England's being brave. They haven't given up, and they're in fact now training for the next tournament. And this will be in the Qatar in the winter of 2022. And they're aiming to go one stage further than they managed this summer, which means they're gonna go for the cup. Mo Farah, which is a 4-time Olympic champion, has a fractured foot, but he still wants to race again. He doesn't want this career to end. Now, honestly, this seems like this kind of brings me nostalgic feelings of Usain Bolt in 2015 when he did that clutch race against Gatlin. I feel like he's gonna pull off another one of just like Usain Bolt. Science news. Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson long-winding path to space. So just like SpaceX, how they're planning to bring people to space, Richard is also been going on a decade-long run and getting people to space. And it's like an 8-meter aircraft, and there's more testing being done to it. NASA's set to attempt the fix on Hubble's trouble. So there has been trouble in the NASA's Hubble telescope. Now, Hubble telescope is a very famous telescope, and it's known for capturing thousands of pictures about the universe. A lot of the pictures you might see are in fact from the Hubble telescope, and this has allowed us to research and learn a lot about space. And there has been some electrical issues in the telescopes, and they'll be requiring fixing. So how antibodies may cause rare blood clots after some COVID-19 vaccines. So as you will be well aware, there have been many cases and dilemma of vaccines causing clot, and there have been some research done on why that can occur. So what essentially has is, as you know, vaccines, they create antibodies, and these antibodies are what defends against pathogens and viruses when they enter our system. So what they do is they activate a molecule called protein factor 4, which can activate platelets and which causes clot. It's a series of many mechanisms, but it has been linked. But the chances of this occurring is in fact rare, and there's more research is being done to kind of see what it's about. Also, yeah, protein factor 4. Disaster news. There has been a lot of flooding in parts of Western Europe, and in Germany, at least 43 people have died and many more missing after severe floods have occurred there. And another 6 have died in Belgium, and Netherlands have also been affected. And there have been cities have been told to evacuate, and major rivers have burst their banks after record rainfall. In wildfires in Siberia, Russian army has sent waterbombing planes and also firefighters to support the thousands of firefighters battling huge wildfires in Siberia, which is a region known for its frozen tundras, but now due to global warming is sweltering under a heat wave. I mean, especially this year, you can clearly see the big impact global warming has had. I mean, we have Australian wildfires, we have weather in UK, thunderstorm, and the 50-degree temperature. All of this is finally being caused by global warming, and we're finally starting to see the impact, the change. Jamati news. As you know, today we just launched the new Great Western Revival book. I urge everyone to pre-order it, and also subscribe to Tag Magazine if you haven't already. Last week, Hazur held MKA Games, one of a kind MK Games, and there were 10 individual games, and there was also a leaderboard system, and they raised money for Mercy for Mankind and charity challenge. So a lot of people participated in it, and even Hazur came, which was really astonishing. And there's actually the next video is about this. But please just remember while I do this.
Good stuff, Qasim, mashallah.
Yeah.
First event that Azur's visited, I think, since the lockdown in person.
Can everyone see this? Can I confirm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Long time. I took part in the qualifying rounds for slow cycling, and at that time I had no clue that the finals will be in front of Hazur. And when I was told that, I was left astonished. And during the competition, I remember Hazur was to my left, and at the same time, while I was riding the bike, I wanted to look at Hazur, but then I was also focusing on the competition. But after the closing session, Sadr Sahib Khuddam Ahmadiyya called me and said that Hazur Yaktas has asked about me, asked for my name and if I'm Waqfin or not. And when I was told that, I just didn't know what to reply to Sadr Sahib. I was just still, I remember. And that just felt like all my problems had disappeared.
So yeah, although it was quite short, this was a very inspiring moment. And yeah, also for the MK Games, they mashallah raised over 23,000 pounds in the event. So it was a really successful event, and especially with Hazur coming to the final, that really lifted. One thing I do want to ask though, what do you do in slow bicycle race? I never understood how did that work.
Actually, Qasim, this started actually from when we were kids in Islamabad. There was something called a Tilford Fete, where all of Islamabad would join with the rest of the village in Tilford, and we'd have a fair. And one of the things was slow bike race. So you have to go as slow as possible until everyone's basically it's really hard to stay on your bike for that long. So most people just fall off, and whoever gets to the finish line first loses. So whoever gets there last wins. So it's
Okay.
nice to see that again
So
implemented.
so you can't plant your feet on the ground and
No,
stuff,
no,
and you
no,
have
no.
to keep.
You
Okay.
can't plant your feet. No.
Interesting. Maybe we should do this in the mosque,
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't know how many calories will burn though.
I don't think it's the matter of calories anymore. All right. Okay. Yeah. Finally, discussion news. So health data and technology. So the question, so with there is, as you all know, as we go by, technology is advancing rapidly, and especially with health data, is getting more digitized. Now, this provide benefits as well as disadvantages. The benefits of this is because as if by humans, we can only go as far before, and with digital technology, it allows us to get exact figures and measure exact fig data and learn much more about our human body and what's wrong with it than humans can. For example, cancer. Uh, to technology, we can detect whether there's cancer or not. However, a normal human cannot actually tell whether a person has cancer or not. We also have machines that can literally analyze a person's brain, regardless of their age, culture, or background, anything. And literally by a flick of neurons, you can measure a million amount of things. However, this also presents a risk. Should we really trust the technology with our health? As you all know, we have kind of smartwatches which monitor your health and monitor your heartbeat and give you advice on uh, health and fitness. But there's a small risk where that data can be wrong. And should we really trust technology? I mean, if you go 100 or 200 years back, we didn't have smartwatches and stuff, and yet we had plenty of people which are really fit and well. So, which really begs the question: do we really need it? Technology to determine our health and lifestyle. Also, what I'd like to mention with technology, as we go more deeper and deeper, the risk, the chances of wrong answer and the impact of it is significantly greater. If a human says someone has a flu, it can get away with it because it's not much of a risk. But if someone say, but if a data comes out of wrong and it shows that someone has cancer, but in fact he doesn't, you could have that person potentially spending 30 years of life, spending thousands of dollars and pounds, only to find out 30 years later that he didn't in fact have cancer and didn't need all this treatment. So what is everyone else's thoughts on this?
Yes, good point actually. Zia, have you got anything to say?
Yes, Brother about this about the use of technology.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I don't have much knowledge, but I do know that sometimes I just want to get rid of all because I'm at work on a computer. Then
yeah.
you have Zoom meetings, and sometimes I just want no screens in front of me. Like you know, that's what I have to say.
But in terms of like going for exercise and tracking how much steps you've done and how much calories you've burned, do you think it's good? Do you think it's a positive step forward for people?
Well, some people are like maniacs about it, and it like proper fitness freaks. I think if you just do well, in generic, I think if you just exercise, I don't think you need to count your steps unless you're like a proper fitness freak and you
Yeah.
know the maths.
Yeah, I know it's catching on. It's like it's trending quite a lot of how many footsteps people are doing, and it does encourage people to just go outside and get gold medals on your apps with your phone or your watch. Like for example, when I went to the hike with you, I tracked it on my watch to see how how many calories I've burned, how long the distance was.
Oh wow.
Then in terms of that, it's quite good that you come back feeling positive that you've completed a sort of target kind of thing.
Yeah,
So it's
but like for
definitely
those
positive.
days, does it show you elevation as well? I believe.
Yeah, it does. It does. Depending on the
No.
setting you put it on.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
all right. Yeah. Once I get an Apple Watch, I'll be there as well.
But yeah, but in terms of computers and stuff, you're not for it.
Yeah.
Not too much. No, it's because I'm always there. So I'm just, like these days, I just put an audiobook on or something and just get away from a screen.
Yeah. And audiobooks, technology as well.
I know, but yeah. Mm.
No, but in terms of reading your health, it's really, I don't know, I guess it's important in some ways, but it can, like Qasim said, if you give the wrong data, A person can live their whole life, with that trauma in their head that they've got a certain disease which they've never had.
Oh,
Yeah,
Which-
and at the same time, the more we give data, there's also the risk of it being leaked to third parties. And the more we digitize our data, the more we give information and make it digitized, the bigger the risk. And if it's getting shared, we're giving away more of our private lives to everyone else,
Mm.
or to companies, which potentially is illegal as well.
That's
There's
true.
also that issue.
That's true. Amar, what do you
But-
think?
Sorry. I'm on the same point as what Zaryab said. I mean, if you're going to be that type of person who's going to track your record, your steps, your calories, how many um, even the small cases of how many cups of water you drink and stuff like that.
Mm.
It comes to a point where some people just take it over the limit, you can say, and they just take screenshots and posting it on Instagram and what like at the end of the day, it's not going to benefit us. So, for example, if you take a screenshot and you send it over to me and I see on your status, that's not going to benefit me. At the end of the day, keep the information to the way I see it, just to keep your information personal. I mean, the second point I wanted to make was it gave me a example of the app that I was telling you earlier in the month, the one that I downloaded to lose my little belly. It's,
you had a little belly and you lost that too.
6 packs in 30 days. And I think the media has a big part to play as well in this, because they're trying to force you to the way the app is advertised.
Yeah.
One a person will come across the app and think that, okay, in 30 days you actually lose your fat and have a six-pack in 30 days, which is not true. So I mean, in one way is good to try out, be fit, be healthy, do exercise. That's what Hazur has mentioned. I believe Khalifa Rabi has even written a book about it, on how to do exercise. But on the other side, just don't take screenshots and keep posting on your
Yeah,
stage.
there's definitely that manipulative side to it. Makes you think that you can get this six pack, or you can look like this body, but in reality, it's a lot harder than that. But then I'm quite for it, to be honest. I know there's that whole data protection thing about it as well. But like, if you look on, I don't know, Samsung, but Apple, they do a really good thing, especially in cases of emergency. So they have the data, health data on your phone. And on that health data, you can put it onto your lock screen. So if you ever fall into any sort of emergency, or if you're unconscious and someone gets hold of your phone, on the lock screen, there's basically your health data, which they can access, and basically that person can contact your doctor, or they can contact anyone to help them understand what's happened, or what this person's health condition is. So in terms of that as well, like, I'm just going through the app now. It's the first time I'm doing it, and you can set up things on your Apple Watch, like set up irregular rhythm notifications. So if your heart if it's picking up irregular beats of your heart, it will tell you your cardio fitness levels, even tell you about if your heart rate is raised a bit. I always get messages saying, take some breaths, just to calm down. So there's all of these different types of things as well, which is pretty cool, which kind of dictate how we can live our life as well. So interesting topic, interesting discussion. Qasim, is there anything else that you can cover, positives and negative sides of it?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of listed those at the top of my mind. But like as I noticed, as Murgza just said, that it's tracking the heart rate. Now at the same time, your heart rate is in fact a major thing of your body, because if you have an abnormal heart rate, that means you have a serious issue. So with these technologies and the data, if these technology get something wrong, this the impact of it is actually really really huge. So this one, I mean, if I want to check my pulse, all I need to do is just put my palm out, put my thumb out, and just wait. I mean,
Right.
that's all I need to do. But also, it becomes a little unnecessary. So, like measure heart rate, it becomes a little unnecessary. In stuff like blood pressure, that could be quite useful. But at the same time, if it gives off, if it says your blood pressure is in fact too high, you might go think, oh no, what do I need to do? You might start eating something you're not supposed to, or you might just stop eating, which could be a risk to your health. But that's kind of it, really.
I think, yeah, bottom line is we shouldn't fully rely on technology. We should
Yeah,
also go with our gut instinct, because I think that's how Allah's designed us, so we can go with our how we feel as well. But
yeah,
at the same time, always take professional advice as well if you ever, fall into that kind of situation.
yeah.
Uh,
And this doesn't just go for kind of training and stuff. This also goes back into hospitals when they do surgeries. All this stuff is also happens there as well. And as I mentioned about your brain activities, there's also kind of risk and stuff there as well. But Jazakallah, that's all it, folks. I think it's been quite a while since we saw this last slide. Normally we would just end it after this week with Azure, but you get to see this slide. So Jazakallah, and yeah.
Jazakallah, Jazakallah. Really appreciate that. Very interesting conversation, interesting topic. So we're trying to have a variety of different topics every week that we can talk about and learn about. Some of them, even I don't know about, so I have to do my research before we come on. So it's quite interesting. Just before we go to